course, this stream will be covering Karl Dink.
Dink the Stink, as I like to call him, as he's known.
um, let's see here. Well, we'll just start with what they had. They have a little segment from wikipedia.org. I guess we'll just start with that and go down the list.
Alrighty.
So, Dink was born in Musselburg, Silesia in Germany, today's Zawice in Poland. There's not a great deal of information about his early childhood, but in adulthood he was well liked in his community and worked as an organ player at the local church.
Oh.
On On December 20th, 1924, Dink was arrested after attacking a man at his house with an axe.
Hmm.
Sorry.
A quick change in attitude.
Police searched Dink's home and found human flesh in huge jars of curing salts. A ledger contained the details of 40 people Dink had murdered and cannibalized over the years. It is thought he sold the flesh of his victims at the Brussels today's Wroclaw market.
Oh shit. So
You.
kind of like what's his name? I'm blanking out on right now.
I can't
Uh,
remember.
Picton.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit.
You're you're searching, right?
No.
All right. Okay. This is the next thing is from an encyclopedia of modern serial killers by Michael Newton. He's just got a short little essay that we're gonna read.
Oh, nice.
Uh, he was a native. Dink operated a rooming house in his hometown between 1918 and 1924. His tenants effectively called him Pop Pop. One,
Weird.
one second.
Yo, watch out for pop-up. Always watch out for pop-up.
One second.
Oh, found ya.
Sugar's just getting really annoying.
Ooh, sugars. Did you hear that? Punish him.
Alright, so his tenants affectionately called him Papa, and Dink was also well liked in the community at large, serving as an organ blower at his local church. Yeah, we know this.
And keep continuing because I'm a little bit full.
That's fine. Uh, in 3 years' time, he also murdered and devoured a minimum of 30 victims.
Ooh.
On December 21st, 1924, one of Dink's tenants, a coachman by the name of Gabriel, heard cries for help which seemed to emanate from Dink's flat downstairs. Afraid the landlord might be injured, Gabriel rushed down to help and found a young man staggering along the corridor, blood streaming from his open scalp. Before he fell unconscious on the floor, the victim blurted out that Pop Pop Dink had attacked him with an axe. That
Oh, pop-up.
seems a lot to be able to blurt out before you pass out, but okay. Police were summoned and arrested Dink, scouring his flat for evidence. They turned up identification papers for 12 traveling journeymen, plus assorted items of male clothing. In the
Damn.
kitchen, two large tubs held meat pickled in brine with the assorted bones and pots of fat. Detectives reckon that it added up to 30 victims, more or less. In Dink's ledger, they found listed names and dates with the respected weights of bodies he had pickled dating back to 1921.
Ooh, just pickling people.
Yep, yep. Seems like that this was his main source of protein.
Yeah, I've never heard of this guy. I mean, it's pretty prolific
Yeah, for
sounding cannibal.
according to the record, he had specialized in slaying beggars, tramps, and journeymen who seemed unlikely to be missed around the neighborhood. No evidence of sexual assault was ever publicized in Dink's case, and homicide investigators were unable to explain his actions. Shortly after his arrest, he hung himself with his suspenders in his cell, permeating generations of historians to speculate in vain about his motives.
Hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, the next article I think it's a little tasteless because it's from foodfirstblog.blogspot.com. so but who did it? Who wrote it? It does not have an author. So someone wrote an article on foodfirstblog.blogspot.com. So basically, someone made a blog website about him,
Hmm.
and we're gonna read that next.
A dog with a blog
Oh,
about a
are you
vicious
kidding
serial
me?
killer.
Watch out! He's a regular old fucking. Why is he a normal enemy now?
What?
That fire sprayer dude.
Oh.
I literally was able to stun lock him and kill him, but still. And he's always with two of these creepy dog-looking motherfuckers. Oh shit!
You pick it. Put your hoods up, Elena. Ooh.
Make up your mind, sugars.
You ever expect a cat to do that? Make up its mind?
She really ain't got a choice. If she leaves my room again, I'm shutting the door.
Sure, we'll see about
Well, I'm
that.
not shutting the door, I'm locking the door.
Yeah, well, she'll give it a good tap.
Oh,
Think
she'll
about that.
scrape against it until I go nuts and I open it again.
Ooh. Nice. Some blood vials back.
Two mold 4, like I need that.
You can never have too much tomb mold.
Yeah, it's
It's
probably gonna be
good.
turned into arcane haze, if anything.
It's good for the soul. I
Oh,
opened this for you.
clearing out enemies. Oh, crap.
Oh,
Oh.
hello, trap. I just hit your beckoning bell right here. I'll find you. You're not actually that far away from the thing. It'll.
Yeah, I know.
I've called you from farther.
Some sage's hair. That's what I need.
Oh, I want to remove the chalice, not go into it.
And some infected organs. I needed that as well. Getting some key important items.
What's the point of even having this, like, I don't know.
The convoluted fucking system of having to co-op.
Mm. And then you just have like this empty, like, version of what you were doing,
Yeah.
like all over again too. Yeah, I want to go back home.
That's if I made one and it was an awesome dungeon and you wanted to have it on yours, you could just keep it on there instead of doing the ritual.
Oh, can you make dungeons?
Yeah, you can kind of like some of them are most of them are procedurally generated,
Okay.
but the ones that are that say shared fixed dungeon, all are all the same, no matter what.
Gotcha. And now I'm searching. Alright, dink us up.
Oh, hold on. Okay, so let me get back to a let me get to a good spot.
Dink, dink my pink.
I'm lost.
That's a lot, isn't it?
No, I just I'm trying to get closer to the lantern is all.
Ah, gotcha.
Because I know you called me from further, but I'm still paranoid. And this is not it. Ooh, but I found Waller.
Waller.
Yeah, Waller.
Oh, Madman?
Yeah, I found Madman.
Oh shit.
But I cannot find. I could have swore.
Did you ring your bell?
Yes, I rung my bell. I'm going to
Cool.
reset it. I've rung my bell. I've re-rung my bell.
Nice.
And I'm right here at the lantern, so. Okay. This one is called The Unusual Case or The Forgotten Cannibal. He wasn't a paraphilic. Para, paraphilic?
Uh, para paraphiliac or paraphilia is
Paraphiliac.
basically just the general term for any kind of weird
Okay.
sexual
He
fetish.
wasn't, well, he wasn't a paraphiliac, nor was he an alcoholic. Nothing speculator, nothing speculated about his childhood either. Uh,
Hmm.
Karl Denke was born on August 10th, 1870, and today's Colonense Gorny in Lower
Hmm.
Selsey and moved to Munzenberg today, a Zonbleis, 10 years later. He
Mm-hmm.
was somewhat dull, if not retarded child. He was a somewhat dull, if not a retarded child.
That's pretty. That's a pretty big jump from
Yeah,
being somewhat dull to retarded.
yeah. But he quit school and left home at the age of 12 to work as an apprentice with a gardener. When he turned 25, his father died. His brother took over the family farm while Carl was given money to buy some land. Being an unsuccessful farmer, he sold the land and bought a house in town on present Stowe Street. However, recessions forced him to sell again. Sell again. He was finally left with a little apartment on first floor and a small shed in the backyard of the house. That makes no sense whatsoever. How did he sell the property but still own an apartment and the backyard shed?
Hmm.
Ding's first victim was probably Emma Sandard, a 25-year-old girl killed in 1909. However, this was established only 15 years later after Dink's death. The latter occurred on Sunday night of December 21st, 1924. Oh, okay. We didn't need to know the date of his death yet. That day around 1 p.m., a man covered in blood ran into the local police station. He was visibly terrified and told the officers that it was Karl Denke who tried to kill him with a pickaxe. The police could not believe the stranger. Vincent Oliver was a vagabond, while Karl Denke had a perfect reputation among the inhabitants of Musenberg, a town of 9,000 where everybody knew each other. However, a doctor confirmed that Oliver must have been attacked with a heavy cutting tool. Finally, Dink was arrested. He confirmed attacking Oliver. He claimed he was just defending his property from an unknown burglar. A few hours later, Dink's body was found dead in the police station cell. The respected citizen hung himself with a handkerchief.
Hmm.
A few days later, on December 24th, the police went to Dink's house. In order to describe what they saw there, it is best to refer to the report given by Frederick Puschke, then acting head of the Institute of Legal Medicine in Brussels. Brussels? The report,
Brussels?
yeah, Brussels. The report dates back to 1926 and was published in the Deutsch. I cannot pronounce that. It is a
Deutsch.
long, no, Deutsch it's a long German name.
Ooh, copy paste it to me. I want to see if I can get it.
It is long. I mean, it is so long.
That's what I'm saying. Copy and paste it to chat.
That's just the title of the report. That
Deu
was
Deutsch Zeitschrift für shit. Gesamte Gerichtlich Gerichtlich Medicine shit. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
yeah.
I could read Deutsch, which is German.
Yeah, I can read the Deutsch, but I can't read
Fuhrer?
the rest.
What the fuck is Fuhrer? Is that just is
Fear
that just
is. I thought
is that
fear.
four?
I thought the fear like meant leader.
No, that's a different Fuhrer. That's Führer. That's a Fuhr.
Okay.
This is I'm pretty sure this is okay. Translation. One second, because this is like an important part of German. It's like a for or this or one of those type of words or two
Yeah.
or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
For. Yeah, it is for. That's probably actually where we got for from. Phew. Like you beg
Oh,
for
that's a
cock,
lot of
yeah,
rats.
you beg for your cock.
Oh, dude, there's a new rat enemy.
Oh, where are you?
There's a new rat enemy, dude.
I didn't know you left. I was looking at German shit. Come here. Where are you? I'm lost.
Alright.
Help! Okay, there.
But I've never seen these rats before. I mean, they look kind of similar, but you'll notice something
Hmm.
a bit different.
You know, I never actually knew that Fuhr was 4, and then I guessed it just from how it was and got it right.
Oh shit.
Just from knowing how close German is actually to English.
Oh shit. This guy's got rat fucking gigantic ass boils on its back.
That's what is it, like, English is just like that really old English mixed with German mixed with Latin. Oop.
Come look at this rat. Come look at this rat.
And some other little sprinkles. Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I
a
ain't never
jiggly
seen a
rat.
rat. I ain't never seen a rat with boils on it
Look at him
before.
jiggle. Look at him jiggle. Ooh,
Yeah,
look at him
they
jiggle.
jiggle pretty good.
It's a good jiggle.
Do you want to do some exploring first? Oh, Ritual Blood 5.
That's up to you. It's your dungeon.
I say let's just go to the boss.
Because we'll probably explore a bit of mine because I like my resources. Because last time I found a bunch of bone marrow ash, and if there's a chance of finding bone marrow ash, I'm definitely exploring.
Yeah, it's this way.
That's my main weapon against bosses when they get too tough. Is to start bone marrow ashing and shooting the shit out of them.
Um, I think it's this way.
Bone marrow ash, I think, is pretty expensive. I'm trying to remember how much it costs. I think it's like 1,200.
It was not this way.
No, 12. Actually,
It's
12,000. I think.
it's not this way.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the
Boss room?
boss room.
Oh, it's always like the down a long hall. It's always gonna
It's
be down a
usual.
hall.
They usually got it like relatively close to the lantern, though.
Yeah, it's usually like down a big hall, like across the lantern usually.
Oh, it's right here. It's literally right
Oh,
across from the lantern. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the amygdala. Amygdala.
oh, amygdala. Have mercy on the poor bastard.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, amygdala. Come on, motherfucker.
Oh shit.
I'm coming for you, bitch.
Hey, you know what's good about this though? No jumping.
Oh.
You can't jump in this arena.
Oh yeah, he's in our domain. Ah, shit. Did I hit him?
Yeah, I'm trying to hit him too. Ooh!
There we go.
Damn it. Ah, shit. What are you doing? Why are you facing that way?
Ooh.
I was expecting this. Maybe it's because his AI is just not
Stuck
built
in
for
this
this
room?
room.
Yeah.
He might actually get me. If he
Are you
would
dead?
have. No.
Oh.
No, he stopped attacking me. Uh, oh shit.
Whoa, he's on top of you. On top of Madman for a second.
Not now, sugars.
Oh.
Yeah, you got me. Sugars, you can't keep looking out the window and getting freezing cold just so you can love on me.
Damn it. I should have hit him.
Oh, come on. Okay, that did it. Alright,
Ooh, staggered him before he could even do that.
just give me 1 second. No, I shouldn't be standing still.
Alright, yeah, we got
No,
him scoring.
no, no, you made your decision. Waller's gone.
Yeah. Oh,
Whoa!
he's jumping!
I did not know he could do that. Did you die?
Oh! No, somehow I survived.
Oh, I died. That jump caught me off guard. I didn't know he could jump.
he just stood by me and was looking at me like, yep. You're just staring at each other. Usually they keep attacking you, but he just killed you, looked at me, and was chilling for a bit. It's like, oh,
Okay.
see you in a little bit.
Ringing the bell.
Ring a ding ding, baby. Ring a ding
Okay.
ding. We could get my bone hunter and bone marrow ash
Alright,
equipped.
so the first findings made in Dink's house during the search were bones and pieces of meat. The latter were in a salt solution found in a wooden drum. There were altogether 15 pieces with skin, 2 parts of the breast, which are strongly hairy. The torso is cut through the middle, 3 fingers above the navel. Its lateral limit is the front shoulder blade in the piece of the interior abdomen wall. The middle of the navel is visible. The remaining pieces belong to the side and back parts. The largest is about 40 by 20 centimeters large. Particularly striking was a very clean anus with 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 hand large parts of both buttocks.
Okay, well,
Hold on, I gotta read that again.
yeah, cause what's the context of this?
I think, I think,
Was this body parts they
I
found in
think,
his house?
I think so.
Oh.
Okay, okay.
But the
The
clean
first,
buttocks didn't throw me off.
the first findings made in Dink's house during the search were bones and pieces of meat. The latter was a salt solution found in a wooden drum. There were altogether 15 pieces with skin, 2 parts of the breast, which is strongly hairy. The torso is cut through the middle, 3 fingers above the navel. Its lateral limit is the front shoulder blade. In the piece of the interior abdomen wall, the middle of the navel is visible. The remaining pieces belong to the side and back parts. The largest is about 40 by 20 centimeters large. particular striking was a very clean anus with hand large parts of both buttocks.
Okay,
So
now I
yeah,
understand.
okay. The meat is brownish red and does not feel as if the body would have lost much blood. On the back, some bl- uh, soft bluish discoloration is visible, as well as liver, liver mortis, which leads to the conclusion that the disassembly of the body took place several hours after death. There is no evidence of vital reaction of the bodies to the cuts made, which means that the latter were not made while the victims were still alive. Nevertheless, some skin and muscles from the necks were missing, as well as extremities, arms and legs, head, and sexual organs. Lesions could not be determined, nor the nature of death or the tool of the crime. In three medium-sized pots filled with cream sauce, some cooked meat, particularly covered with skin and human hair, was found. The meat was pink and soft. All pieces seemed cut from the gluten area, the buttocks. One pot, only half a portion. Dink must have eaten the other piece short before being arrested.
Mm, yummy.
Uh, so,
Cannibal.
I'm just gonna ignore those guys. So, some police guy had to write that police report.
Yeah.
It's the Killer Queen guy. Why not?
She's a killer queen.
I think Killer Queen is actually a female NPC. Queen Killer? It might not
I
be.
don't think so. They ain't got any
Oh,
tits.
yeah, no, they ain't got the
I
brawl on.
mean, they could be, you know,
Yeah, who are we to
if they feel
judge?
that way.
Okay, let's try this one more time. Well, it's gonna be several times. Up, up. Already gonna die before we even start.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Ow, fucking asshole.
Oh, fucking A. Oh,
That's
wait,
right.
before I die. Before I die. Because I know I have weapons. Oh, I'm damn near two.
You want a bolt hunter mark out?
Nah,
I wouldn't judge you.
nah, I'm good.
Okay.
If I die this go around, we'll both mark out.
Okay. I mean, I don't need to. I only got,
Yeah, like I
I
said,
don't have a lot.
if we die this go around.
But I'm not doing good. God, I haven't even gotten a hit.
I've just been hitting his arms.
That's what I've been trying to do, but
Uh,
I keep getting smacked
I'm
when I
dead.
try.
No, I'm not.
There we go. Oh, shit.
Oh, I died.
Okay, that's good. I needed a redo on that anyway. Except, kind of would have rather me have died, and then you could have bolt hunter marked out.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna run in there real quick and get my souls and blood echoes and run back out.
Alright.
Make sure I got them equipped. God, he was extremely aggressive. Alright. The last assumption, though logical as it seems, is not proven by the facts. Police found some human meat and one portion was visibly gone, but there is nothing to confirm that it was Dink who had eaten it. Equally possible was that he had sold that meat or given it to his guest, although the latter would seem like an unnecessary waste. However, Perinsky points out to other problems with establishing who actually could have eaten that meat. I should like to mention here that there is no evidence that Dink has ever sold the meat of his victims. All evidence has obviously been eaten. However, it seems certain that his guests, that is, the vagabonds, were offered to eat it. Okay.
Well, what
So
is it?
apparently the evidence points that not
Very
only
well, let me...
was he eating people, but he was feeding people.
These are straight out of a horror movie.
Yeah.
I guess you could say about
Farewell,
that
good
about most of
hunter.
them, but still.
Yeah, that... Very disturbing.
You can see that realization, you know.
Yeah. Again, this is only his assumption. Why would Dink rather offer his meat to his guests than sell it on the market? By the way, note the interesting fact that Perinsky is writing the report over a year after Dink's death. The legend of selling human meat on the market must have been widespread since the discovery. It's made in Mutzenberg, as the forensic feels in duty to refer to it. Then Perinsky continues. One second.
Okay. Did you get your level
Yeah,
up?
yeah, rung my bell.
Alright,
Uh,
searching.
Perinsky continues. In the third pot were numerous pieces of human skin and parts of the aorta in a gelatinous mass. A bowl on the table in his room was filled with amber-colored fat that appeared to be human. Biological tests gave it a weak positive results for the presence of human protein. So basically, he was eating that shit like it was candy.
Damn. He
In
was
the shed,
just addicted to the taste.
I guess so. In the shed in which the meat pieces were found was
Oh, there's someone like a while ago that was asking someone to help them defeat Mikolash, which I mean we weren't
oh.
going to, but I just was saying that there's someone in that chat. They're
It
long
didn't
gone.
even let me know.
Alright, go on.
Alright. In the shed in which the meat pieces were found was also a barrel full of bones that were cleaned of tendons, muscles, etc. The most probably have been uh, pri- uh, priorly cooked. The investigation initially revealed the existence of six forearm bones, which means that they belong to three people at least. Uh, Other traces were found behind the shed. A part of a leg remained in the pond that Dink had dug many years before, and also skeletal pieces were uncovered in the local forest. Here is the full list of what has been sent to us for examination. 16 femurs, of which one pair of remarkably strong ones, 2 pairs of very thin ones, 6 pairs, and 2 left femurs. 15 medium-sized pieces of large bone, 4 pairs of elbow bones, 7 heads of radal, uh, radi, 9 lower
Hmm?
parts of radii,
R-A-D-I. Radii?
radii, I don't know. 8 lower parts of the elbow, a pair of upper shin bone, a pair of lower elbows and radii in which extremities still remain well connected. A,
Shit.
a pair of upper arms and a pair of upper arm heads. A, a pair of collarbones, 2 shoulder blades, 8 heels and ankle bones, 120 toes and phalanxes, 65 feet and uh, metacarpal bones, 5 first ribs, and 150 pieces of ribs. Holy shit. All bones, with the exception of a few, were very light, porous, and fatless.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of the cook from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, he does.
You know, like blended in perfectly with society because, you know, like he just seems like a normal gas station dude, you know,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and really nice, you know, to like other people. But like, you know, just,
Secretly a crazy person.
yeah, and like making, you know, people into his barbecue, his world famous barbecue that he's like getting rewards in the second movie.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, really good the second movie. That's both really good movies, both very different. It's almost kind of like how like Alien is different than Aliens, you know, like it
Yeah.
becomes an action movie, but it's still like fucking, you know, in its own way, like a different way, like fucking
It's
great.
still,
Oh, I just
yeah,
instantly.
instantly got killed. Yeah, I saw that.
It's because he's hugging this. I can't get into the middle, you know.
Yeah, we need to get out of the,
Yeah.
I can't see what I'm doing, can't see what I'm doing. Old Hunter Mark, Old Hunter Mark.
But
No!
second movie is just like hilarious and just great. And ooh, I don't know, I'm blanking out on his fucking name.
Why ain't I
Ooh,
using it?
what's his name? He's fucking. One second.
I can't use it
Chop
because
Top.
I gotta wait until Queen Killer fucking dies.
Who
Or
plays
can I
Chop
just,
Top?
yes, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Bill Moseley. Bill Moseley makes that movie.
Are you kidding me? That's bullshit. I bold hunters marked out and he still was able to fucking kill me.
Ah.
They really should have put some invincibility frames there.
Mm.
Like I
You
was
know Bill
done.
Moseley,
I
right?
I was uh I know the name.
Yeah, because he's the uh, brother Firefly and House of Thousand Corpses and shit.
Yes.
But he's Chop. But he got to start as Chop Top in Texas Chainsaw, which
All
is
right.
Leatherface's brother, who's a Vietnam vet, and he's got like a metal plate that he's always scratching on his head. It's
All right. So
like a
in
psycho hippie.
all right. So on with Karl Dink.
Yes.
In the marsupial forest remained as well parts of a spine and 4 parts of a clean dissected male pelvis. How was it dissected?
Mel, the pelvis, that I mean, must have been that dissected means it was cut
I
in half from
oh oh I
diagonally.
should have kept oh, which one side showed traces of saw cutting. The
Haha.
only one piece of head bone was found. This is a piece of the inferior uh, sinus area, jagged on the front side. It looks broken and bears visible signs of sharp sawing on its tops. The piece of bone is cross-marked with ink.
Weird.
Given the size and condition of the bones, we can assume that there was one particularly strong individual, two others were of delicate bone structure, another suffered from coccyx vera.
I don't know what that is.
The cutting surfaces of the bones are jagged as if blunt force was applied, such as the blunt end of an axe or a hammer. Some bones were visibly sawed, few spots shown traces of a sharp tool, an axe most
Did you notice
probably
that I stole your hunter, your Maria outfit?
uh, similar such traces were found on the articles which must have been cut with a knife. Based on the findings, we're able to declare that the bones sent to us belong to at least 8 people.
Goes good with the
Of,
choir.
of course, other bones were yet to be uncovered over the years to come. The last pieces, including head bones, were found in the late 1940s, just after World War II, by
Damn.
now Polish inhabitants of the house.
Oh my God.
So, so motherfuckers would just randomly move up in there and just randomly find a human bone
Oh, I'm
just
sure they
in the
didn't tell them
house.
that. I'm sure they didn't tell them that that happened there.
Oh
I'm sure they didn't
no,
tell them.
dude, do you know how cheap that house would be?
Yeah.
40 people not only were murdered but cannibalized in the house. That that doesn't just half it. That's 75% down on the original price.
I mean, I'd live there.
Cuz it's
Especially
extremely
if it was
fucking
cheap.
cheap.
Yeah. And also, it's like, what if you did find another bone?
Ah, yeah,
And it, I'd totally turn it in, but you'd be part of that story. It'd be
yeah,
like, and
you'd
then,
be able to be like, I found one of Carl Dink's bones.
yeah. And if last podcast has a thing, it'd be like, they could
Oh,
mention that.
they're probably gonna cover him pretty soon because they're gonna be doing
Get him
cannibalism.
over here, get him in the middle, get him in the middle.
I know.
Murd. Yeah. Queen Hunter, stop it. Queen Hunter. Queen Hunter! There we go, come on. Oh shit, laser beams. I
Queen
love that
Hunter,
move.
get away from him.
That move's pretty cool. The guy charges it up, he starts like getting all crazy. Come on, get over here.
Move.
Throw a knife in your head. Yeah.
I was hoping we'd be done with this, the defiled chalice dungeons by then.
By when?
By now, I didn't think Amidala was gonna take us this.
Well, I mean, he hasn't taken us too long, and we started pretty late.
Yeah, yeah. Had a couple
My
bad-
internet had a fuck up.
Yeah.
Someone has to work for a living.
Yeah.
Both of us do. It just
Yeah,
don't
but
happen to today or tomorrow.
Ah,
Don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to
I
stream
got
tomorrow.
greedy.
I think
I got
there's a lot of
greedy.
things I have to do. Oh shit.
I got greedy. He just kept standing there though with his head down, so
Tisk tisk.
about half a level up. Uh, that cost me because
Mm.
I didn't get my blood echoes.
But yeah, as I was saying, I'll probably be a little busy tomorrow. If I do happen to have time, I'll let you know.
We might have
But
to wait until night again because I might have to go to fucking South Carolina.
oh no, then I'm not gonna be able to do night ones for a while because then my 6
No,
a.m. day
I
start.
meant tonight.
Oh,
Tonight we'll
okay.
yeah tonight we're going to and we're gonna head right back
Okay.
because we got to be in Georgia Friday and there's nothing else for us scheduled this week. So
Oh, neat.
I rung my bell, and now that's a good thing. I, I don't want to be traveling uh, uh, during fucking the holidays while it's winter because it's gonna get more rampant during the fucking winter time.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is.
And no one seems to realize that like the last fucking thing we need to be doing right now is traveling. Like
Mm.
this is the worst time period.
Yep. Already have nasty motherfuckers always at coming into the store.
Oh man, I just we gotta stay in hotels, and with hotels comes with God knows who,
Hmm.
and it's not like we get, sometimes we get something good like a 3 star like the Jury, but most of the time it's literally just some shady ass motel.
Hmm. I'd also be scared of bed bugs.
Bed bugs actually hasn't been a problem when it comes to
Oh yeah.
hotels. They're pretty good on that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the motherfuckers that love bringing their own pillows. Those are the ones that will bring you bed bugs.
Mm.
Because their pillow is infested with them, and they're, I can only use this pillow. Alright, so on with Dink.
Dink the stink.
There's more to the report. There's a lot more to this report. Considerably more revealing was Dink's dental collection. We received a total of 351 teeth. Guy was the fucking tooth fairy. This was found in a money bag and in 2 tin boxes on which pepper and salt was written, as well as 3 paper bags which was destined to keep pepper.
Hmm.
I think that was supposed to be designed, but that's spelled destined.
Hmm.
They were partly sorted according to their size. The molars were in the money bag, while the others in the 2 boxes in the paper. While the others are in the 2 boxes in the paper bag. In yet another paper bag were teeth that belonged probably to a single person. In a third bag, 3 lower incisors were found with strongly aphoric structure. This one came probably from an old individual. All teeth, with the exception of 6, were well preserved. The
Damn.
investigation led us to very notable results. The remains of the bones were definitely of minimum of 8 victims. However, other circumstances of the case make it likely that the number of victims was much higher. The teeth were found belong certainly to at least 20 people. Professor Engling noted. Eller, Ehler noted, however, that some individual teeth appear more than twice as often than it's statistically expected. These concerns sound second. This concerns second premolars and incisors, which suggests that there might have been even more victims. The fact, or one of the victims was a child, but I'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
The fact the majority of the victims suffered from caries leads us to think that the number of victims were higher. In addition, it must be stated that people in old age lack proper dental treatment. Professor Elar estimates cautiously that the teeth belong to at least 25 individuals. The extractions were done in different ways. Some teeth seem to have been taken out quite easily due to senile atrophy, while others were rather solidly rooted and extracted with force. In many cases, we discerned parts of the alveolar wand. Some specimens, especially the molars and premolars, show fractures in teeth and enamel that couldn't have occurred during victim's lifetime. On some, there were traces of claws that claws were with very sharp edges. The appearance of some roots seems to justify the assumption that the jaw had been cooked in advance. Individual teeth have been broken, probably in the process of extraction. Again, Dink had no luck.
Hmm.
I kind of want to say the money bag probably looked like. Have you ever seen a picture of white bell peppers?
Yeah.
It literally looks just like a bunch of fucking teeth.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I think that's what the money bag probably looked like when they opened it. You were summoned, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, running for the middle. Oh, kill
Oh,
it.
my bad.
I'm stuck.
Come on.
There we go. Ooh, cannon. Don't get penisy.
I already did. As soon as you said something. Come back. Come back in the. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. Okay. No, Queen Killer. Get him over here. Get him facing us. Yeah, now he's gonna start using Arcane.
Not the worst thing he does. His arcade never actually ever gave me trouble.
Oh, he's got fucking eyes.
Oh, shit. Just as I said, arcanes never got me in trouble.
You died?
No, I'm good. It almost killed me, though. Alright. Get out of here. Alright, come on, get out of that corner, you bastard.
Here we go.
There we go.
No!
You good?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, knocked out an arm.
Nice. Loving doing that flailing thing. Oh no.
No.
What is that? What did he just do? Did he just make himself stronger?
Maybe.
No! Nice. Should have been doing that instead of that arcade. Ah!
Stay alive. Let me handle the... Getting risky. Oh, he's got out the arms. Got out the arms. Got the arms out. Arms out. Oh. Yo. Alright, bone marrow, ash. Fucking him up. Bone marrow, ash. Fucking him up.
Yes! Yes!
Nope. Man. Oh, he's jumping.
No!
Out of bullets.
Just wasted a fucking bullet.
Watch out. Come on. Oh, no. You good. You good. Damn it. Fuck.
He's jumping.
Oh. Took him out.
Nah, he killed me.
Damn.
He's arcane.
We're so close.
Yeah, we was. The last remarks sound a little odd. Okay. Especially interesting is the answer to the question of the age of the victims. For the list later mentioned, we know nearly all victims. There are no young individuals among them. Now, there are 4 wisdom teeth that clearly came from the same person or individual that have pincellators usually found on the teeth of the 50-year-old. The investigation of the other teeth showed that at least 4/5 of the victims were seniors. Professor Ehler summarized that among the victims there was certainly one person who was not older than 16 years. Seemingly, he did not figure on the mention list. While the majority were significantly older than 40 years, 2 individuals were probably 20 to 30-year old, and one between 30 and 40 years of his life. This test do not give satisfactory results concerning the sex of the individuals nor their jobs. For obvious reasons, nothing specific can be said about the time that elapsed after their death. What is certain is only that some teeth have been extracted years ago, then pulling out of the teeth of young people must have taken place many weeks ago. In any case, the study of the teeth brought much more information regarding the number and age of the victims than could be learned from the bones, but it must be taken into consideration that the latter was only partially recovered. Next part of the report is concerned with findings that didn't seem to have anything in common with the transforming of human tissue. Nevertheless, further investigation revealed that Dink experimented with human leather and soap making based on human fat, although his methods remain utterly primitive. Amongst among Dink's suspenders, 3 pairs were made of human skin. There are about 6 centimeters wide and 70 centimeters long. The leather is not smooth and at one spot broken. It seems not tanned, but only free of subskin tissue and dried. At one spot it is obvious that he made the cuts under the nipples, which are still clearly visible. 4 are patched with human skin taken from the pubic area. Some traces of louse nets were also discerned under microscopes. All suspenders show traces of use, and one of them, Dink, was found on Dink himself. Besides suspenders, Dink had also leather straps cut out of human skin that he treated with shoe polish, and parts of which were sewn together with pieces and rags of clothes. Many of these laces were made of human hair. One sample was 1 centimeter long, gray, white, and according to study was taken from the head. From which area of the body came the other pieces, this cannot be said. Holy shit.
He's just making a bunch of shit.
Yeah, he fucking had human skin suspenders on him when they arrested him.
Yeah, and he's making soap.
In addition to various old clothes which were in the apartment.
What's with fucking Germans and turning people into soap?
I don't know. I have no clue.
This is before the Nazis too.
They. I would hate to think that one of them got the idea from him. In addition to various old clothes which were in the apartment, there were 41 large and small bundles of rags bent together with straps. The investigation led to no results concerning these old, worn out clothes. Equally strange was Dink's collection of coins. This consists of round, flat, unfired clay pieces, size ranging from a peefing to 50 peefings, which,
Peefings?
yes, peefings. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I'm just thinking of, like a penis squeeze.
Uh,
Peace per second.
did you have you searched for a dungeon?
Yeah, it's searching.
Okay.
Go on.
It's spelled Pfennig, okay?
P, P,
Pf
wait,
Pf
P, F,
Ennig.
E,
Peefing.
N. Well, if a P's in front of a consonant like F, then it's silent,
Oh,
right?
then it's fifthning. A fifthning. Fifthnig.
Huh.
Fifthnig. Which
I
was
still don't understand.
it's a which have one real it's a coin. It's a fucking coin. It's a
Okay,
currency.
gotcha.
Uh which have one which have on just one side the image of a real coin. Okay. Okay. A
Gotcha.
large number of ID cards and private papers of several people were found in Dink's room, as well as account books on revenue from the garden, on working hours, and so on. They were relatively well managed and clear. More attention was attached to some loose sheets of paper on which names of 30 men and women appear. In front of each name there is a date, probably the date of death of the person. At number 31 there is only a date. The record is chronological. Numbering starts only at number 11. In case of women, only the first name is indicated. The notes of men are much more detailed, usually the date of birth, place of stay, and status of the persons concerned. The
So I wonder.
assumption that this is the list of victims is justified by the fact the ID cards found in Dink's room belong to people whose whereabouts would not be identified otherwise. By the appearance of the sheets, we can assume that the list has been made in one day.
So it seems like he preferred men to
Yeah,
attack. Do you think
it
there's some kind of power thing there?
um to be honest, I think sort of. I think so. I think it was a power thing, and I think he was getting ready
He's getting ready for what? For
because
like.
he wrote the list in one day. Like
Oh.
he just made the list randomly. So he was
Hmm.
getting ready. I at first I thought, oh, he's making sure the meat don't go bad.
Hmm.
Like he's doing like expiration dates and shit. But no,
Hmm.
no, it the list has not been made in one day. Okay, okay,
Oh.
not been, not been. I was about to say. So yeah, he definitely a power thing for sure.
Yeah.
He probably I can't say that he did, but he probably had some crazy assumption that eating the people was making him a hell of a lot stronger.
Or yeah, maybe even just like yeah, definitely. I mean, like even
Like a
in
Wendigo
a
type,
subtle way.
like a Wendigo type psychosis.
Maybe. Or if maybe just like.
I don't think he believed. I'm not saying he believed he was a Wendigo. I'm saying he had a similar psychosis that
Yeah.
the human meat was making him stronger because it was human.
Mm.
All right. On one side of the sheets are the initials of the name followed by a number which most likely indicates the weight of the person concerned. On another slip of paper next to a name stands what follows: dead 122, naked 107, disemboweled 83. The last figure is then repeated next to the name of a person concerned in the last table. Oh,
Hmm.
this was more
Huh.
than this. This was a lot more than this was a lot more than just a power thing, because he's experimenting.
Hmm.
Like, not only
I
is
mean,
he experimenting, but he's like keeping weight and actual information. Like, he's keeping data.
yeah, it's definitely an obsession. Like he's he's definitely having fun with the whole. You know, it's just like a butcher shop or like a
Yeah,
chef.
he's
Like,
definitely treating it more professional than most of them do.
mm,
Of tools used for killings and fragmentation of the bodies can be said. These can be said: 3 axes, a large wooden saw, a tree saw, a pickaxe, and 3 knives. All of these have been seized by us by the cops, with the exception of the axes and the tree saw, which was sent to be tested for traces of human blood. The saw is a large tool with which, as the microscopic examination revealed, also would have been sawn. Also would have been sawn. So he used the wood saw for both human and wood. Just if you care to know,
damn.
the the
Well, you know, gotta make use of the saw.
the detection of human blood was a success. However, we suppose that he used many finer tools, probably the tree saw, to cut heads and the pelvic bones. The pickaxe was used for the last assassination attempt, and human blood could be stated on this tool as well. It has a length of 40 centimeters and is pointed forward. As for the knives, we could not make these things all clear.
Keep going.
Then
Stop making
Dr.
nachos.
Poinski reports continues with information about Dink himself, but these are pretty scarce. The killer had a reputation of good, if somewhat recluse citizen. As a child, he was believed to be dull. He wasn't able to learn, and he didn't speak. He only began to speak at the age of 6.
Oh.
Teachers declared him an idiot and often punished him.
You're a
He's very
fucking idiot. Go sit in the little dunce cap forever.
he's very abstinent and lacks respect for teachers, they noted.
I wonder why.
And
You're an idiot.
you
You don't
know,
respect us.
it's almost like insulting someone's not how you.
Mm. But you know, sometimes that's what like sometimes just like not talking would be like they'd be like, oh, he's stupid. But like there's like so many other reasons why kids will just stop talking all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Usually for like, usually if they get traumatized somehow, I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised if there's some like unknown trauma that he suffered. You know,
Or he just couldn't process human speech for a while.
or there's so much like
That's
they understand you, but they just don't talk.
yeah,
You know, they
yeah.
just and they can, but they just don't, and they just
Yeah,
don't
selective
ever.
mutism.
Yeah.
Selective mutism is what it's called.
And I know there's a couple other serial killers that had that too.
Alright. As an adult, he was treated with suspicion, but rather because of his solitary status and sexual indifference, he was said to be neither man nor woman. His family stated that he never showed signs of fear or disgust. However, he had no violent temper, they thought. He had accepted
Whoa,
their
wait. They said he was nor a man nor a woman? Where'd that come from?
they're saying that as an adult he was treated with suspicion, but rather because of his solitary status and sexual indifference, he was said to be neither man nor woman. So
Oh.
he wasn't sexual whatsoever.
He was just asexual.
Yeah, yeah. Or
Okay.
he just didn't pursue, you know.
Hmm.
His family stated that he never showed signs of fear or disgust. However, he had no violent temper, they thought. He, he had accepted their invitation only once, but it was memorable, however. Anyhow, his brother recalled that Karl had eaten 2 pounds of meat. He described him uh, as a glutton, the never German word for glutton. I couldn't pronounce it.
I mean, that's just being a German.
Mhm. Nevertheless, Karl's good manners, humble behavior, and occasional charity earned him the nickname of Varty Dink, Father Dink.
Father Dink.
Hmm. Dink's personality is far from established. All we know about him comes from documents or sparse remarks of his relatives and co-citizens made only after his death. Little doubt people became biased by the shocking revelations found in his apartment. His crimes were not motivated sexually, and his conduct seems rather rational. Oh, his conduct. Okay. He presented himself well, is what they were
Yeah.
saying. For all
Yes.
information that we have, we can assume that he was an extremely selfish, retarded man, unable to distinguish moral categories. Probably he didn't mean to harm people, but his need for food was primordial. After a series of failures at school, farming, business, he found a simple and effective means of producing food and probably income by killing vagabonds he met at the train station. He could
I
gain
feel
their
like
trust. Mhm.
Germans like were like standards for retarded back then were probably pretty broad.
he he could gain the trust quite easily and take them home virtually unnoticed. The train station was a short walk from his place, and both were on the outskirts of town. At the end, we shall also ask one pertinent question: how could Dink's crimes be perpe- perpetuated for at least 15 years, completely unnoticed by anyone in Musenberg, including his neighbors? And symptoms were admit some time before Venice Oliver escaped the killer. In extremis, at least two men managed the same, but they didn't report the fact to police as it seems. Holy shit.
Hey,
So two other people escaped, but they was like, nah. So you know what it was, right? It was two grown, big, burly men, and they was like, oh, the
no.
dude actually fucked me up. I'm not gonna let anybody
Hmm.
know about this.
That's interesting too, is that he just goes after like not just weak dudes too, you
Yeah,
know,
he just I'm guessing he's just going after it's
whoever
more.
comes by.
Yeah.
'Cause didn't it say he had some female victims?
Yeah, it did. It did. It said men and women.
Yeah, but he just seemed to be more interested in the men.
Yeah, he just had more men victims than women. And of
Hmm.
course, there are more men vagabonds than there are women, so
And
that's
also, I mean, sometimes sexual things can be like very subtle,
yeah.
you know.
He
So
might
he
have
could have
been,
been
but
in, yeah, like maybe just a little gay, but like maybe not, you know,
like
or it has to be the power fantasy because that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that the whole like treating it like a butcher like
yeah,
business
like it's a
almost, you
murder
know,
shop.
is like I mean that's like how people kind of have power over animals, you know. It's like these beasts we you know
Yeah,
reduce them to just you know objects like that. So I definitely think there's like a power thing. I wouldn't be surprised if he got like molested as a kid or
or
something
yeah,
like that, you
something.
know,
But
by a dude.
there's nothing really to go on when it comes to his childhood. Apparently
Yeah,
he had a
but
pretty
the
apparently
fact
he
that
had a
he
pretty
went
normal childhood.
the fact that the whole that selective mute thing, I feel like, you know, there could have been an incident.
Yeah, I have a feeling that something traumatized him before he could talk, and so he
Mm,
just didn't talk.
yeah. Alright, my nachos are ready. I'm pulling them out.
I'm gonna read these last 5 paragraphs before we start,
Yeah, yeah.
because
Perfect.
that'll be the end of this report at least. Once an apprentice covered in blood ran out of Dink's apartment. He was never heard of again. Some time later, a vagabond complained to Dink's neighbors that he had been asked to write a letter and soon after found himself with a chain on his neck. He was stronger than Dink and made his way outside. Nobody reported these to the police. So yeah, that apprentice was like, "Oh shit, dude. Oh shit, dude." And Buddy was like, "Dude can't hurt me, so I'm out." I like to think like he woke up and noticed the chain and was like, "What the fuck is this?" And literally just stood up and, and was like, "Okay."
That's just called a Dutch a Dutch welcome.
Other facts occurred as well. For instance, repeated complaints of from Dink's neighbors about a strong, uh, penetrating smell from his apartment. The neighbors noticed as well he always had plenty of meat, even in the worst period of inflation. They assumed, however, it was dog meat, so gave little attention to it, even though black market slaughter of dogs was illegal. Nor the buckets of blood he poured into the courtyard made them
Huh.
think. He was often heard hammering and sawing at night, but no neighbor would become suspicious. After all, he was preparing the dishes to be sold at the morning market. Damn. It is quite remarkable as well that he was probably often seen going out at night with large, heavy bags and returning home with empty hands some time later. What was he doing? What was in the bags? Why at night? Where did the old garments and shoes that he was selling come from? It seems plausible that some neighbors were suspicious about Dink, but as long as nobody from town was hurt, he remained safe.
See, this is how you know it's in like the Polish part of this German kingdom. Because if this was happening like in like fucking Germany, he would have got ratted out first fucking
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, he wouldn't have. Well, it depends because he was during the kind of wicked time of Germany. If
No,
he got
even
the
when they were wicked, they're
yeah,
fucking snitches. If it was
yeah,
fucking
I
straight up
but
Germany,
wait, let me finish. Let me finish. If he just so happened to have gotten with a certain crowd that came into power around this time
mm,
and gotten a certain job, he would have gotten paid to do this.
yeah, but he would have had to have the badge of it first.
But still, like he all like if it was just 10 years later,
No, yeah.
he would have been getting paid. Cause
But also,
I
if
gotta
but if okay, if these Polish guys are calling them retarded, then the Nazis would have just straight up killed them. Like, even if
it
they didn't
depend
know,
it
if
de-
they even if they didn't know if he was a serial killer, he'd be like,
depends
oh,
because
this.
it seems like he was good at following orders, so he might have been a good enough Nazi to be the one to actually, light the ignition. I just think that the Nazi Party would have loved this guy. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, maybe he would have been on that. What's I can't remember what they're called, but they're that special regime of soldiers that were all just criminals. And they just
Yeah,
put them on.
Hitler had a whole squadron of like
Yeah,
murderers and
like
rapists.
life lifers, and they just like send them like after everybody, and they just terrorize towns.
Oh yeah, that he would have definitely been part of that.
Boo! All right. I think the Russians had that too. I mean, I
Had
guess it's a good idea. Just get like the people that are gonna you're probably gonna put to death anyway.
yeah, go ahead and
And be
start
like, hey,
killing.
hey, yeah, you guys like killing? All right, well, do it for your country. Though the Russians, they used them
Which
more like cannon fodder
I'm not.
than weird death squads.
I'm not gonna lie. Before I was as informed as I am now, I was like, why don't we just recruit the serial killers to be in our army?
Oh my god.
Like, let's instead of having normal, sane individuals going, let's send the fucking crazy fuckers. Not realizing that we can't be given the crazy fuckers.
Guns, yeah. And sending them out to be sort of ambassadors for America.
I mean, we can. It's just not gonna end well.
I mean, we have. So Richard Ramirez's cousin, who actually sort of tutored
Ah,
him in
I,
his ways, but his cousin was a Vietnam veteran, and when Richard Ramirez was 14, he picked, and his cousin was probably like 20 something or 30 something, uh, and he'd take him to go peek at like people's houses and
there's
shit,
one.
and
I can't remember.
he'd
There's
show
one.
them he'd show Richard Ramirez pictures he took in Vietnam of like the women
Yeah,
he raped
not. I think
and
Richard
murdered.
Ramirez is the one. Like, it's not his cousin. It was his uncle, and his uncle basically trained him to be the
No,
serial killer.
it was his cousin, but it was his older cousin.
Okay, I've I've heard that it was his uncle.
Pretty sure it was his cousin. Because I remember that specifically because I always think it's his cousin, but or his uncle, because it was an older dude like that. But
Ah, oh man, stop doing that move.
ouch.
Of course, he's just gonna do it again. I'm probably not gonna get it this go around. I'm down to 9 blood vials.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is what I was fearing.
Amygdala.
Not even that, I was just fearing the fucking last dungeon. Freaking
Yeah.
us.
Ooh.
He
There,
died.
there we go. Mm.
Well, I can try my best. No, I'm just gonna... Yeah, I died. We're not
It's
done
like
with Carl...
this.
We're not
Hmm.
done with Carl Ding, by the way. There's like... One, two,
Nah, yeah, I didn't think so.
three, four... Yeah, there's four more articles I can read. The next
The
article
Dink
is
Man.
an infamous dink from dink.org.
Dink.org.
Yeah, apparently he's got his own website. Alright. I gotta use some Madmans.
Is this the last part of this dungeon?
Yeah, this is the end of this dungeon. And then we're
Okay,
back.
good.
Yeah, then we're
Alright,
on
let's
to
skip the amygdala then.
we
On
can't
mine.
we can't.
We can, because we are starting a
No,
new
you
dungeon.
you need to get the chalice from him.
Oh. Damn it.
Yep.
Bloodborne! Fucking bastard. Alrighty. On my way.
Maybe if we tried Waller instead of Queen Killer.
Yeah.
But I
Waller.
can't go get them because of those enemies right there.
Yeah. We're good.
I'm just gonna not summon Queen Killer this go around.
Okay. It's kind of a waste of insight. Uh,
Come on. Jumping.
oh, fucking.
Yeah, you want to stay in the place. You want to stay in the same spot
Uh,
when he jumps.
I didn't
I
know
should
that.
have wasted those. I just wasted 2 blood vials.
Poopy poop. Okay.
Knocked me out of the fucking Bolt Hunters animation.
The bastard. He foils us once again.
I gotta go back to the dream to refresh. I just have this. This is literally the only challenge we're gonna have, and the only reason why we got the challenge is because they nerf us for the dungeon.
Hmm. Because it's defiled.
Alright. So we're probably most likely just gonna be repeating information now,
Mm-hmm.
but I figured we'd cover the rest of the articles, so you never know.
Ah, shit.
I've already rung for you.
Thank you.
Alright. Son of a wealthy farmer, Karl Dink. Let's see here. Details on this. But here's a summary. He believed to kill 30, 40 people, primarily Journeymen and homeless men. Reports state that he had been engaging in cannibalism for several years prior to his capture. These are rumors that he actually There are rumors that he actually sold human meat. He killed all his victims in his house on Stonewall Street. Apparently, Karl Denke was liked in the community before his arrest. He is known to have been called Vater Dink, translation to Father Dink or Papa Dink, by the locals. He is also served as the organ blower for his local church.
Cannibal Man.
On December 21st, 1924, a coachman by the name of Gabriel heard cries for help which seemed to emanate from Dink's room. Gabriel rushed down to help and found a young man named Venice Oliver staggering along the corridor, blood streaming from his open scalp. Before he fell unconscious on the floor, the victim blurted out that Vatar Dink had attacked him with an axe. Police were summoned, and of course they arrested him. Scouring his apartment, they turned identification papers for 12 traveling journeymen, plus assorted items of male clothing. In the kitchen, 2 large tubs held meat pickled in brine. With the assorted bones and pots of fat, detectives reckoned that it had added up to 30 victims, more or less. In Deke's ledger, they found listed names and dates with the respective weights of bodies he had pickled dating back to 1921. He killed himself in prison the night of his capture. Reports state that he hung himself with a noose fashioned from a handkerchief, leaving historians with no explanation or motive for his actions.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yep.
No interview.
Okay, so for those interested in how rumors get started, they're blah 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 blah. That's not important. But apparently, he was not an innkeeper. Apparently, this rumor was started because of bad German translations. No German sources that I have found say that he was an innkeeper, but most English sources do, even though that was never stated. He died in 1924. I mean, they said his tendons, but he could have had roommates in an apartment.
Yeah.
He died in 1924, not 1942. At one point, someone reversed the numbers and printed the information with 1942 as the year of his death. This has been repeated by several others.
That's a big difference.
Yep. Many sources say that he hung himself with suspenders rather than a handkerchief. While that makes more sense, it is apparently untrue.
Well, what do you know?
Yeah. The cannibal from Zabais. He peddled human flesh at meat and roll. He said it was pork. The Polish Word, August 2nd, 1999. Oh, someone years later he made the newspaper.
Oh, oh by the way.
Karl Dink, a devout, peacefully, generally respected citizen of Zabite, turned out to be a cannibal who killed 40 people. He pickled their flesh in jars and sold it on the Wrocław market as pork. It all came to light after Christmas of 1924 in Zabite's Museum of Household Goods. They decided it was quite an appetizing story and dedicated a little corner of the museum to him. On the table are, among other things, bloody knives and axes, and a meat grinder is attached to the table as well.
That's.
This,
I wonder if that's still there.
I don't know.
If it is, it's destination.
The story of the
Gotta go.
cannibal Zabais was resurrected by Lucina Bailey. the curator of the archive of old printed materials in the university library at Penske in Wroclaw. She came across the story by accident while preparing a catalog of the Sicilian press. She presented in Zerbais during a scientific conference. The title of her report was German, so I can't pronounce it. The first to mention the cannibal from Zerbais was another German word I cannot pronounce. But I can pronounce Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Frankenstein.
for the less informed, Frankenstein was the name of Sicilian Zerbroisk before the war. Oh, okay.
Oh, are you sure? Is that real?
Apparently, Frankenstein is a place.
Okay.
The information appeared on December 25th, 1924. A more thorough account was provided by Zerbroip's newspaper published tri-weekly, Musenberg Zeitung. From it, one could infer that this person who carried the cross at funerals of the Everless Commune and helped beggars and people in need was a monster. It is hard to believe, but it happened. Oh shit, oh shit. Oh, so much for Karl Denke was born August 12th, 1870. We've been through this. His family was quite wealthy. They were farmers. Karl was a hard child to raise. He ran away from home at the age of 12. When he graduated from elementary school, he started apprenticing with a gardener. He started life on his own at the age of 25. It was then that his father died, the farm was taken over by his older brother, and he himself bought a piece of land with money from his inheritance. However, farming did not go well for him, so he sold his land. He bought himself a little house in present Stallwell Street in Zabai. Unfortunately, his savings were devoured by the uncontrollable inflation of his time. He had to sell his house. He did not move, but he did not move out. He still lived in a little apartment on the right side of the ground floor of the house, and he still occupied the shop standing next to the house. Hmm.
Hmm. So I'm waiting for my tea to.
It's fine. I'm trying to.
Trying to what?
I'm just saying, after the corpse was returned. Hold up. Okay, that was him. How desperate he must have been to do it with a noose made of a handkerchief. Yep. In the closet hang many blood-stained clothes, including one skirt. On the windowsill laid various kinds of documents with the names of people released from prisons and hospitals. Jars of pickled meat. The laboratory analyst showed quickly that it was of human origin, human bones prepared for thermal processing, instruments of the production of belts, leather straps, and other products from human skin were found. Dink was even processed human hair, using it to make shoelaces. He would sell it all door to door, the permission from which he received from city officials. The meat, with the permission of Wroclaw butchers, he sold in Wroclaw. It was a time of crisis, and every gram of meat would find a buyer. The policemen were able to identify the names of 20 victims of the Zybite cannibal. It is believed, however, that he pickled in his manufacturing shop about 40 residents. For now, the local cannibal has only a small place in a museum in Zabais. However, it is not impossible that he will be granted an even bigger exhibit. After all, not all towns can boast their own cannibal.
Tell me, they can't. Not every town can.
And I don't think I was gonna read, but I don't think we can. I think we covered it.
Oh, we got Dink. We
Yeah,
got
we got
Dinked.
benefactor of yeah. This is literally just I don't like. I'm glad Murderpedia has multiple articles so you can read them and know
Mm.
what information is corroborated and what's not.
So,
But
so it's sort of like some of those keep going back to him
some of
giving
them,
meat to people, but
y-
they said that it's not totally
it's
hundred
it's
percent.
it's more of a room. It's more
Yeah,
likely that it was just a rumor than anything.
it hasn't been actually
It wasn't
confirmed.
confirmed. It was never confirmed that he sold meat, but there's a strong
Mm.
possibility that the meat that he was selling was human.
Yeah, it's kind of like I
Which,
know
of
because a lot of
course,
they say that with Picton too, but it's very much seems like he definitely
when it
did.
comes to Dink, I know this is stupid, but he was slow, so he could have maybe believed he was doing a
Mm.
civil service, providing meat in a time of crisis.
Maybe, yeah. In some weird dark way.
It's hard to say though. Oh, come on, that shouldn't have hit me. I got greedy. That was all my fault.
Tisk tisk. For shame.
Okay, so,
Oh shit.
oh god, what's that? Oh, the the tea kettle. I was like, what in the hell kind of enemy is that?
Monster. Yeah.
uh, okay, so since we have time,
Mhm.
I believe we should do more information on Lisa Marie Montgomery, the last one
Yeah.
that we.
Sure thing. Pouring my little chamomile tea.
So uh, I'm I'm gonna, even though there's literally not. The victim was Bobby Jo Stennett. She was 23 years old and pregnant, and she lived in
Mhm.
Skidmore, Missouri. That's literally the only information I can get from her. I
Mm.
mean, I know she sold rat terriers
Mm.
and everything, but that's all the information I can get on the victim.
Yes.
But I've gotten a hell of a lot more information from about Lisa Montgomery,
Yeah.
because of course you can find all the information about the serial killer, but you can't find no information about the victim.
Yeah.
So Lisa uh, Marie Montgomery was born February 27th, 1968. She resided in Melbourne, Kansas at the time of the murder, so she went across state lines.
Mm.
Oh shit.
Smart.
I wouldn't call it smart, but
I mean that.
she thought she was being smart.
Yeah.
She was raised in an abusive home where it is claimed, only claimed, that she was raped by her stepfather for many years and was sexually trafficked beaten, and urinated upon by those who assaulted her. She sought escape mentally by drinking alcohol. When Montgomery was 14, her mother discovered the abuse but reacted by threatening her with a gun.
No damn.
Yeah, her mom found out she was getting raped, and so in order to and so her mom pointed a gun at her.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. She tried to escape the situation by marrying at the age of 18, but both first marriage and second marriage resulted in further abuse. Montgomery had 4 children before she underwent a tubulant ligation in 1990. She had her tubes tied in
Ooh.
1990. That's
In
very
1990.
important. That's
The same yeah.
very
It's
fucking
very
important.
it's very important because it's the same year that Bob Saget raped and murdered that girl. It all makes sense.
Oh my
It all
god.
makes sense.
Alright. Holy shit, dude. Okay. So like I said, that was just the early. So she Lisa Montgomery knew full fucking well she wasn't pregnant.
Yeah,
Cause
she did.
there's a I don't I, that's what I was like, oh, we got to cover this more. It's like she there was no psychosis or anything. She was fully aware of her actions. And I also wanted to cover her her second husband's testimony,
Mm.
because I found it very odd. I found it very odd that he was abusive,
Mm.
but she doesn't like say anything about it. Like, it's never brought up in court that he abused her or anything.
Weird.
But yeah, Montgomery's husband testifies FBI agent had staked out Lisa Montgomery's rural Maven, Kansas house by the time she and her husband returned from showing off the newborn infant she had killed for a day early. Montgomery's husband testified Tuesday. Kevin Montgomery said he saw a sports utility vehicle with Shawnee County, Kansas license plates parked a quarter-mile from his house when he drove up in a red Toyota Corolla. An early witness identified the Toyota as being parked outside the home in Skidmore, Missouri. So he was fucking there.
Oh damn.
He was fucking there. No, and nobody's noticed that. Like, he's the one that was driving the red Toyota Corolla. And that was
Mm.
the fucking same car that was found parked outside of the victim's house.
Oh shit. So yeah, he's definitely an accomplice.
Kevin Montgomery spent more than 2 hours testifying Tuesday during the fifth day of the trial of Lisa Montgomery, 39, who is charged with kidnapping resulting in death and the slaying of Bobby Joe Stinnett, 23. Kevin Montgomery soon saw 4 people from the SUV walking up to their farmhouse, and he opened the door and invited them inside. One of the 4 said, in light of the Amber Alert seeking public aid in finding Victoria Joe Stinnett, the missing infant, the law enforcement officers wanted to question the Montgomerys because they heard the couple had a newborn baby in the house. Kevin Montgomery earlier that day heard the Amber Alert, but he didn't connect the missing Stinnett infant to the appearance of his wife on the evening of December 16th, 2004, with the baby she said she had delivered in Topeka. Lisa Montgomery told her husband she had been shopping in Topeka on December 16th, 2004, gone into labor, and delivered the infant at the Birth and Growth Center at South and West 6th and Washburn. The Montgomerys had spent much of December 17th, 2004, showing off the baby they called Abigail to people at the
Oh my
Whistle
god.
Stop Cafe, a bank, and her parents' home, all in Malville, and the Casey's convenience store, and Oshkosh County Courthouse, both in nearby Linden, then drove home to find the awaiting investigators. While an officer watched the baby, others questioned the Montgomerys separately, taking Lisa Montgomery outside to interview her. Kevin Montgomery said, eventually officers told him that his wife was a suspect in the slaying of Bobby Joe Stennon and the kidnapping of Victoria Joe Stennon, he said.
You don't say.
At times Tuesday, the questions to Calvin were pointed. Did you have anything to do with the death of Bobby Joe Stennon? Assistant Attorney Matt Withrow asked. No, Kevin stated in a quiet voice. He fucking knew.
No.
He
No.
no, 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 no.
That's how you know someone's lying is if you ask them something like, did you kill that person? And they go,
No.
no.
The Montgomerys went around Malvern showing off the baby on December 17th, 2004, when in fact Lisa Montgomery had killed Bobby Joe the day before. Correct, Withworth said? Correct. Kevin Montgomery answered correct. Oh, dude, I know it's a terrible fucking thing, but way to sell your wife down the fucking river, dude. Just, yep, yeah, we were showing off the baby the day after.
Mm-hmm.
In lengthy questioning, Kevin Montgomery acknowledged that on 3 occasions Lisa Montgomery told him she was pregnant at times from 2001 to 2004, saying he believed her because her abdomen became large, her period stopped, she was cranky, she had morning sickness, she took parental vitamins, and her breasts were enlarged. She was probably, and she didn't need to, probably taking birth control, which not many people know this, but if some birth control can have the adverse effect and trick your body into believing it's pregnant.
Yes.
So she most likely was. She already had her tubes tied by this point. It was.
Yeah.
It's been 11 years since she first claimed she was pregnant, and 3 years later she claims she's pregnant again, and she's already had her tubes tied.
So why is she on birth control? There's no reason to be on birth control if you...
To keep up the ruse, and she probably, I know I'm giving her a little more credit, but she probably did research and was like, oh shit, if I take birth control, it will.
Oh, yeah. What a weird bitch.
But yeah, she definitely either they're in on it and all this is just cockamamie horseshit he made up to be on trial, or she was just trying to cover her tracks as well as possible. But on Tuesday, he admitted she had lied to him when she told him she was pregnant. Yet you still stand by your wife, Werther asked. Do I love my wife? Yes, Kevin Montgomery said. The two,
Oh.
the two who were wed in 2000 remained married and each wore their wedding rings on Tuesday. Oh. Kevin Montgomery also admitted that Patty Baldwin, a sister of Lisa Montgomery, had told him his wife couldn't have children because she had a procedure done in October 1990 to make her sterile after she had a difficult pregnancy when she was 22. No, she didn't have the procedure. The doctors made her have the procedure. Because of the difficult pregnancy. The pregnancy was too great for her, and they was like, okay, if you have another one, it's gonna kill you. It's most likely gonna kill you. So they was like, we're tying your tubes because doctors will do it. If it's medically necessary, they will fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a shit. Doctors don't give a shit about what you want. They give a shit about what you need. especially in the especially in the American medical system.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Yeah, that's pretty much all of the new information I was able to get. I just wanted to cover her early life
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go on it more
Nice.
because he was definitely him testifying definitely makes it seem like he was more of an accomplice than anything
Oh, yeah.
because he was spotted up.
Oh my god. What a way to open the big list.
Yep. Son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, and but anime fan says 31.
31.
You know, 31. Remember when that was relevant in the conversation? 31?
I have no clue when that was relevant in the conversation.
You know, 31.
Oh god damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he said that like 10 minutes ago. Ring my bell. I was expecting a lot more from Karl Dink, actually.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Well, he killed himself so that they didn't get the full story.
Yeah,
You know?
so he's definitely going to be. The last podcast is going to be covering cannibalism here, so he's definitely. I have a feeling he's going to come up.
Ooh. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and you know what? You know what? We beat him fucking to it.
Yes.
We fucking beat him.
Nice.
Oh, there was something I found interesting. I found it extremely interesting. On the Canto Gadino, the big-eared midget, how
Mm.
a newspaper they were trying to pin it on a criminal organization called the Black Mono.
Mm-hmm.
I did not find the Black Mono, but I did find a Simon Rumstein or
Oh.
Rubenstein. He
Mm.
was he was an Argentinian Jewish pimp and businessman. He
Oh.
was a fucking Argentinian fucking killed himself recently. Epstein.
Oh, Epstein. Shit.
Yes, he was an Argentinian Epstein.
Oh.
Who headed a criminal organization called the Ashkenzoms, and it was an and there was an offset of another one called Zud Migdal. Migdil. I'm butchering these names,
Mm-hmm.
but fucking the years he was active,
Mm-hmm.
1900 through 1939. So his criminal organization could have been the one that they were talking about in that
Oh yeah.
because they were kidnappers.
Yeah.
Rufstein arrived in the Buenos areas from the fucking same place.
Oh shit. Yeah.
in the year 1900 and quickly became an owner of a condom factory. He was a very successful
Oh.
businessman and heavily involved in silk trade as well.
Wow.
At some point, he became involved in the Swade Migdwell and trafficked thousands of Jewish women.
Damn.
So he's definitely a prime candidate for the criminal organization that newspaper was blaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, always stay in place when he jumps, because you're
Okay.
gonna land right behind his head.
Because with everyone else, it's the opposite.
Yep. You just gotta hug. You don't like you hugging him.
Oh. He pooped a little.
Alright, now he's gonna start doing arcane a lot more. Oh shit.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Come on, you know you. Yes. Ah, damn it. Oh no.
Damn it.
No, I fucked up.
Are you good?
Yeah. I just started dodging when he jumped.
Uh-huh.
Get out of the corner.
Yeah. Damn it. Always miss. Always miss. Fucking bastard.
Come on. We'll be covering Joe Bell next.
Oh yeah. Is he the Texas guy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes!
Oh, still alive. We're so close.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
here comes
Wrong.
Tansy. Jeez, it's got such a fucking reach.
This little fucking arcane bullshit.
Oh no. Still out
Don't
there.
die. Ah, fuck!
Oh
Fuck!
no.
I moved.
Oh. Oh no.
Every time he does that, I'm instinctually moving.
Mm-hmm. Gotta stand still.
I know we can do it.
Yeah.
About to say, let's progress in the story. Let's progress in the my game a little more
Mm-hmm.
before we continue this.
Yeah. Definitely. Get past this roadblock. Okay.
We're gonna try the amygdala one more time.
Okay.
Ringing my bell. Okay.
Oh, amygdala.
So, I need my bookmarks. Joe Ball.
Joe Ball. Texas legend.
Ah, I hate.
Which is
Please
why I
tell
picked
me.
him, because it seems like what's true about him and what's actually, and then what's a folklore is hard to tell because they got a bunch of Texans making stories about him.
Okay, so I believe the best one is gonna be this one right here. This is Joe Ball, the Butcher of Elmendorf by David Lohr. Lohr, Lohr.
Mm,
Lohr.
lore.
Uh, Introduction. More than 60 years after Joe Ball committed his crimes, it is difficult to assemble a factual account. None of the original investigators is alive, and the local authorities have no files or written accounts. What? Had it not been.
Because those old Texas, they don't need no fucking
Good.
paperwork out there.
I
Paper
had.
boats for wussies.
had it. Had it not been for the persistence of Michael Hall, managing editor of the Austin Chronicle, there probably would not have been a story to tell, at least not a very detailed one. During the summer of 2002, Hall ferreted out surviving witnesses, relatives, and other details about Joe Ball. The information was published in the July 1st, 2002 issue of Texas Monthly Magazine. His account, along with various pre-existing reports, has made it possible to put together a reasonable, complete story of Joe Ball's life and crimes. Although most Texans do not recall how many people Joe killed or when his crimes took place, virtually all know his name and have heard stories about him. Many were told the tale by their parents at bedtime or while sitting around a campfire trading ghost stories. Whether it is the sheer brutality of his crimes or the unique aspect of the case, the name Joe Ball is one not easily forgotten. Most horror buffs have seen Tube Hopper's popular movie, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was Hopper's second movie, Eaten Alive, which may have been more reality based. The film told the tale of a crazed Texas hotel owner who fed his guests, including a pretty hooker, to an alligator he kept behind the hotel. Surely this is not sheer coincidence or strongly suggests that Mr. Hopper, like many Texans, remains fascinated by Joe Ball and what he did to his victims.
Oh yeah, Joe Ball.
That was just the introduction.
And I already knew this was gonna be a fun one because it got a bunch of Texas folklore around it.
I got to first find one that covers his early life pretty good.
Oh yeah, I knew Joe Ball.
This is the only one
Meaner
that.
than a snake.
All right.
He had reptile
So
eyes.
we're moving from David Lohr for a minute, and we're going to be reading from Michael Newton, an
Mm,
encyclopedia of modern serial killers hunting humans. Because
nice.
it's the one that I can find that's the most closely to his that has
Mm,
a good representation of his early life.
nice. No. You know, it's fitting that we're talking about serial killers while fighting an amygdala.
Oh yeah, it is.
Ah, you bastard. What's funny is that we're getting killed by this giant amygdala, and this thing should be like super empathetic.
Yeah,
If it was an actual amygdala.
but it's not actual. Oh shit. Oh no. Okay. Okay. You must have to move back a little bit, or his jump's just different in this room.
Mm. Back to Joe Ball.
Yeah. Back to Joe Ball.
Uh,
Born in 1892, Joe Ball was a one-time bootlegger and tavern owner of Elmendorf, Texas, near San Antonio in the 1930s. Ball ran the sociable inn, distinguishable by its lovely waitresses and alligator pit out back, where Joe would daily entertain his patrons with, uh, with the ritual of feeding time. He seemed to
yeah,
have a problem
I mean that's
keeping
Texas
waitress.
tradition.
He seemed to have a problem keeping waitresses and wives, but the variety was is part
Also a
of
Florida
what
tradition.
made Ball's establishments so popular. There was a darker side to Joe, however, and according to reports from other residents of Elmendorf, Ball sounded anything but sociable. One neighbor, a policeman by the name of Elton Crude, was threatened with a pistol after he complained about the stench emitted by Joe's alligator pool. The smell, Ball normally explained, was due to rotting meat he used for gator food. Another local was so terrified of Ball that he packed up his family one night and fled the state without a word of explanation.
I can just imagine the pulling the gun on the police officer and him just being like, "All right, now Joe."
I like how.
That's just how that's just how Texans would like argue. They just pull guns on each other. They got mad, and then it's just like, okay, okay.
I like how he had the balls though to pull a gun, even though it was just his neighbor, so it was more of a personal dispute than anything. But a cop comes up to your door and goes, "Hey, you got a weird stench coming from
Mhm.
your backyard." Your
Well,
reaction
yeah,
is,
insulting the alligator pit.
"Get the fuck out of my yard!" and pull the
You
pistol
know,
out.
I think it's the alligator pit that gives them power in that town because it's like
Yeah,
everyone likes them for the alligator pit, but then it's like we talk to them about actual Joe. It's like, oh well, he's actually a really dangerous person, but he's got an alligator pit.
yeah,
It's pretty cool.
you're wording that quite wrong. It would be Joe seems kind of a cool person, but he does have that alligator pit.
No, this is Texas. These are Texans. They love the alligator pit. They
I,
only like him because he has the alligator pit. You gotta use Texas. You gotta use Texas logic. You're not
okay.
using Texas logic. You're using like black person logic, like actual logic, like when it comes
No,
to animals, like to
I'm
stay the fuck away.
I'm using the pig farm. You do not do not trust a pig farmer. They can dispose of your body in a week. How they
But
do
yeah,
it?
but
How
that's
they
also
do it?
what gives them
I
the
can
power because
yeah,
it's like
I can I
because
can I can
yeah, they're gonna
explain. I
respect
can
you because
explain.
I'm not gonna piss off Joe. He's got an alligator pit.
But I can explain it. Alligators is probably more. They'll probably just eat you randomly. But you starve. You literally starve the pig. This is inhumane. This is inhumane. I'm not suggesting doing this. But you starve the
I,
pig for
I
about.
like I like that you're giving the warning about the starving the pig and not about the feeding the body to the pig. You think that would be the first
I shouldn't. I
discretion?
shouldn't have to give that fucking warning. Okay. That warning. You should not. You should not think it's okay to feed a body to a pig. I shouldn't have to fucking disclose that. I shouldn't.
Somebody disclosing like that it's bad to starve the pig when you feed it
Because,
to
because if you don't starve the pig, they're not gonna eat the body, and you're literally just gonna have a fucking rotting corpse in your pig pen for a week.
Yeah.
Unless until somebody notices. But
It's not good for the pig either.
it's not good for the pig. It's not good. This is not good.
Just leave the pig alone.
But you starve the pig for a week, remove all hair, toenails, fingernails, and teeth, and just throw it in there, and the pig will be like a polar bear. Polar bears are literally a polar bears. If they smell a human, and within their radius of being able to smell, they're coming for you. They're
Mhm.
polar bears for some reason love human. They just love human. And most people like to
That
say most people say it's because food is extremely scarce, but their their ravenous when it comes to smelling human meat is a lot more intense than it is when it comes to just other random animals.
I don't know. They go pretty hard on walruses. I've seen them.
Oh, imagine that, but
I
10
think.
times worse.
I mean, it's probably just because it's easier meat.
I guess.
Because
I don't know.
walruses gives them fucking trouble. Have you ever seen like a polar bear fighting a walrus? Walruses are like sometimes fucking twice
But
their
yeah,
size.
they were.
And especially the bull ones, and they like especially for like some of the female polar bears, like the walruses can fucking fatally, injure a polar bear, especially a bull one. Especially if it gets them in the water. Like walruses are crazy in the water. That's their domain. Like polar bears can swim, but
But
not as
yeah,
well as walruses.
I know for a fact that they're considered one of our only natural predators. Like they
Yeah.
naturally seek us out, is what I'm saying.
Mm.
But anyways, they're like a polar bear
Yeah.
if you starve a pig and you feed it a body. Because not many people know this, but wild boars, they like attacking humans.
Oh yeah, I mean they attack
And
they
it's
attack
more of
anything in their territory.
well, yeah, I was about to say it's more of the defense thing, but
Mm.
it is also the delicious as human meat. Because apparently humans, we got some tasty meat on us. Apparently,
It depends on what you are. Tigers can develop taste for it though. A lot of big cats can. Oh.
you want to get into the serial killer Carol Burnett or Baskins? I mean,
Oh wait, are we still? I thought we were still on Joe.
Yeah, we're still on Joe, but I kind of got into the
Okay.
talking about feeding.
Uh,
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something else for now.
yeah.
Because this is just not working out. I think we have to fight. Um, you know what? Um, how about we go get our red jelly from our lectures hall, and you go get your living string
Okay.
real quick before I figure out what we're gonna. And we're not done on these are just complaints. In September 1937, worried relatives reported Minnie Gotthart's disappearance to authorities in Elmendorf. The missing 22-year-old had been employed with Ball before she dropped from sight. Under questioning, the tavern keeper said that she had left to take another job. Police were satisfied until another waitress, Julia Turner, was reported missing by her family.
Mm.
Bell's answer was the same, but this time there were problems since the girl had failed to take her clothes along. Damn. Joe saved the day by suddenly remembering an argument with Julia's roommate. Turner had been anxious to get out, and Ball had given her $500 for the road. Isn't he nice? Isn't he a nice person, you know?
Just a good guy.
He's just a lovable scamp. He
Just a
just
good old Texan.
he's just taking care of he's just taking care of his employees. I don't see anything
Nah.
bad with that. Okay. Within a few short months, two other women joined the missing list. One of them, Hazel Brown, had opened up a bank account 2 days before her disappearance, then left without retrieving any of the cash. Texas Rangers entered the case, compiling a roster of Bell's known employees over the past few years. He just got sloppy. He just said, "Fuck it."
Fighting gestures. Oh shit.
Yeah, you got to deal with the brain.
Yep.
I'll tell you where the red jelly is once I find it.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you're right there. You're not slick.
Alright, my lord.
Got the theater key. Got the student uniform.
But this device, I never activated this device. Huh.
Okay, so the red jelly is gonna be on
Oh
the
shit.
the red jelly in the lecture hall when you come out of the lantern room. You'll go all the way down to the double doors just to exit to the
I'm not
nightmare
gonna
front.
remember this
Okay. Okay.
until I'm doing it. Um, I just
I'll just
realized that
wait.
I'd never activated the elevator, so I have to go and try to activate the elevator.
What elevator?
To get to the brain, right? Where is the brain?
Oh
I forget that
yeah,
to get to.
yeah. You go to the middle to activate the elevator. You just got to go to the
Yeah.
middle.
Oh wait, I don't know.
You
I
go to
can't
the
remember. How do you
go
get to the brain?
go
I don't
to
even
the
know if I even activated the elevator, if I have or not.
you have to go to the middle to activate it.
Okay. Okay. I was just there, but went all the way back because I was trying to get to the. I got
Now
confused.
now act like you now when you're at the middle, when you're at the lantern, go to it like you're going to the boss room. But
So like,
you know where those two shadows are walking? It's
yeah.
right before them. It's like right behind them. You go up those steps, those two shadows are walking.
Mm.
It's right behind. It's gonna be behind you.
Okay.
I'm. What is it? Farewell. May you.
There it is. Okay.
All right.
And I died.
Okay. So many were found alive, but at least a dozen were permanently missing, along with Joe's second and third wives. I said Bell instead of Ball. Ball stood up well under questioning, but his elderly handyman cracked, reporting that he had helped Bell dispose of several female corpses, acting under the threat of death when he fed their dismembered remains to the alligators. From the safety of his new location, Joe's ex-neighbor joined the litany of describing an evening in 1936 when he had seen Ball chopping up a woman's body, tossing the fragments to his hungry pets.
Damn it, died again.
I have a feeling that that neighbor just wanted to be part of the story. Oh
Yep.
yeah, Joe, I've seen it. I seen it. I seen it. He was cutting up a woman's body up in the backyard,
Oh
fed him to
yep,
them
he's cutting them.
alligators. I seen it.
I've seen it.
I seen it.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. She ran out of material.
I got you. I died again. And I was
Go,
getting really
go,
mad.
go, go up instead of down.
Okay.
Oh, good lord, these guys are taking forever.
And fucking elevator. There we go.
Kind of looks like gearing them a little bit.
I need to get the sedatives out.
Yeah, that's what you gotta worry about. shining coins. I should just start throwing those everywhere. Ah, you know what we could have been doing this whole fucking time that I just now remembered? Instead of getting lost in the labyrinths, right?
Yeah.
Use the coins for what they're fucking meant to be used for and mark, like, breadcrumbs from Hansel and Gretel. That's what the fucking coins are for, so you don't get lost.
I mean, you could do that.
We could have been doing... I just feel stupid that all those times getting lost.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know. Shit. Fuck. No. No, no, no. No.
Oh, no.
Fucking cocksucking. Why do I have to be here? Oh. Heal, heal, heal. Heal. Shit. Fucking heal. Stop grabbing me. Stop grabbing me. Oh, I'm
no.
dead.
Oh,
Well, what am I getting?
no. The living... you know what? Go check your insight bath. I don't know why I didn't have you do this first. Go check your insight bath.
My insight bath?
Your insight shop.
Okay.
The messenger bath that uses insight.
Yeah. Gone.
Ow. It may, I'm not saying it will be, it may be in there, and that will just circumvent. Oh, this is bullshit. That's bullshit. One HP fucking stun locking motherfucking ass wipe. Okay. Alright.
Nope,
So,
it ain't near.
alright, yeah, you sadly gotta go. You didn't kill the brain.
Well, we're rushing through doing the things for you.
Yeah, I know. I know you didn't kill your brain the very first time, the very first playthrough.
I did. I
No,
totally did.
you would have the living string.
I totally have. My first playthrough I did.
You would have the living string. You would have it.
Well, I don't know.
It's literally the only spot you can get the living string. It's the only location.
Pretty sure it killed them.
So
Yeah.
either it glitched and didn't give you your living string, or you got your living string and you're just not looking at it right.
I didn't get no flipping string.
Hello.
Hello.
Sally? Is it Sally? Silly? We have someone in the chat.
Oh. Oh. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the most action-packed stream you'll ever see.
Well, oh, well. Don't feel bad, it's my it's my only language, and I'm still shit at it, so. I am terrible at English, even though it's my only language.
What is your first language, silly?
America.
America.
The United States.
America.
America.
America. Oh, Malaysia, sweet.
Nice.
I don't know much about Malaysia. I know they got tapers.
Yeah, I don't know much about them either.
Tapers out the wazoo.
Yeah, this must be ruining content. Singapore.
Well, at least
Thailand. Huh. We will get back to covering Joe Ball in just a second. And no, Joe Ball is not a made-up name.
Joe Ball.
Oh wait, I should have. Oh, I didn't wait for the fucking pig. Running. Do you guys
Still
stream
trying to get in this
daily?
fucking elevator.
We try to, but our jobs kind of make it almost impossible for us to.
Yeah, it's kind of random.
We get in whenever we can. Alright, we'll be able to get to the fucking Shadows of Yarnum with ease now. Ah!
What happened?
5 a.m. there. It's 5 a.m. where I am, yes.
And it's 3:23 where I am.
Ah, you poisoned me, actually.
I'm in the Rockies.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast.
Ah, I died again. I can't do this right now. With these lady things. Like,
I hate to say this, but make sure you have 0 insight when you do it.
I don't know. I'll just have to tackle this another time.
Alright, well, go to the hunt, are you too tired, or?
No, I don't think I could do that
Alright.
right now. With the elevator and then just dying from when I finally get through the elevator, you know.
Yeah, I get you. But
I
it's
can't deal
something
with cliffs right now.
you gotta do it eventually.
Yeah, I'll do it eventually, but I ain't doing it now.
So go to the Forbidden Woods and we will tackle the shadows, I guess.
Because I am too tired, but I want to go for a little longer since we started late.
Yeah.
I just want to go for a little longer, but I know I'll be quitting if I have to keep doing that.
Alright. So, back to Joe Bell. Joe Ball, I mean. Alright,
Oh,
so,
it's 6:24 p.m. over there.
yeah. Yeah, very late. Okay, so, a new settlement. In the late 1800s, the state of Texas was a wide open frontier with thousands of acres of unsettled land. The Indian wars and feuds with Mexico were all but forgotten, as most were looking ahead to the future. One of those looking ahead was Joe Ball's father, Frank. Around 1885, Frank Ball moved to Elmendorf, Texas, a small town
Oh, and
15
for context for Sally, we're discussing a serial killer from Texas
named Joe Ball.
that that fed his victims to alligators. All right.
Okay, who would later become the mayor of San Antonio. Holy shit.
Oh.
No, I read that completely. Which was recently founded by a man named Henry Elmendorf, who would later become the mayor of San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, his fucking father was the mayor. Shortly after his arrival, Frank borrowed some money from the bank and opened a factory to process cotton. Shortly thereafter, the railroad ran tracks through town and Frank's business boomed, making him a very wealthy man. He began dabbling in real estate, buying and selling properties throughout the area, and he eventually opened a general store in town. Frank and his wife Elizabeth raised 8 children in one of the first stone homes to be built in the area. Every one of the children prospered and several became important figures in the community. Frank Jr. worked for the school district and became a trustee in 1914. His brother Raymond opened his own grocery store and in 1926 married a local teacher, Jane Terrell, who was later appointed by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1940 as postmaster. And served the community for 27 years. Franklin and Elizabeth's second child, Joseph D. Ball, was born on January 7, 1896. Throughout his childhood, Joe kept to himself and rarely participated in activities with other children, preferring to spend his time outdoors, fishing and exploring. As he reached adolescence, Joe's passion turned to guns. He loved them and spent several hours every week practicing and perfecting his skills. My uncle could shoot a bird off a telephone line with a pistol from a bumper of his Model 8 Ford, Joe's nephew Bucky Ball said in July 2012 interview with Texas Magazine. Whether Joe had suspected it at all at the time or not, these skills would soon come in handy.
And it looks like he left.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like
On
as
April
soon as
6th,
serial killer was mentioned.
yep. On April 6, 1917, the United States formally declared war against Germany and entered the conflict in Europe. Shortly after the start of the war, Joe Ball enlisted and was shipped off to the front lines in Europe, where there is no surviving records of his deeds or actions during the war. Joe survived and in 1919 received an honorable discharge from the Army and returned to his hometown in Elmendorf. Basically, it was just a normal.
Am I supposed to be searching for a beckoning thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Look at you.
yeah, beckoning, yeah. I thought you already was,
Yeah, I was. I was just making sure I was doing the right thing. Because I didn't hear you actually like
you're
tell me
on
to do that.
you're in the Forbidden Woods, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, we're taking on the shadows of Yarnum.
Oh yeah. Okay. You never said let's go take
Yeah,
on the shadows of
I,
Alarm.
I did, but Okay. Joe worked for his father for a while, but then quit. Some surmise that after a couple of years in Foxhole, Joe needed some time to adjust to civilian life. Joe may not have followed in his father's footsteps, but he obviously learned something from him about business and quickly determined that with the advent of prohib, pro, prohibition, prohibition, that there was a huge demand for illegal whiskey and beer. Oh, prohibition. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Thus, he began a career as a bootlegger. The job may have been dangerous, but Joe apparently enjoyed it and would travel all around the area in his Model A Ford, selling people whiskey out of a 50-gallon barrel. During the mid-20s, Joe hired a young African-American man named Clifton Wheeler to help with the business. A handyman by trade, Wheeler quickly found himself doing most of the labor and dirty work. It was later said that Wheeler lived in fear of Joe and that whenever Joe was drunk, he would blow off steam by shooting at Wheeler's feet, making him dance the jitterbug.
That's the most Texas thing I've ever heard.
Yep. That's as Texas as you can get.
Ringing bell.
Alright. We're we're gonna be at Gatorland now.
Ooh,
When
Gatorland.
When Prohibition ended, Joe's bootlegging career was dealt a temporary setback. Since he already knew quite a bit about the liquor and beer business, Joe decided to open up a saloon. After purchasing a small parcel of land outside town by what is now Highway 181, Joe built a tavern which he named the Sociable Inn. In the back where in the back were two bedrooms, and up front there was a bar, a player piano, and a room with tables where men would drink and occasionally enjoy cockfights. While most customers seemed to get along with Joe, he was known around town as a creepy guy, someone you did not want to cross. Again, because I truly believe the town had the whole don't trust the pig farmer mentality with him. Instead, it was don't trust the dude with the fucking alligators. You just don't.
But you do go over to his house sometimes to see him
And watch
feed
him, yeah,
the
watch
alligators.
watch him feed the alligators, and then one day hear about how it was victims,
Oh,
and morbidly have to live with the realization that you watched a human being get fed to a fucking alligator.
that's a good Texas Friday afternoon right there. Get home from school, get a weekend ahead of you. Start it by watching, dude, get rid of
Now,
some bodies.
my question is, you know how some of the alligators people, you know, some of these alligator land people that they'll let people from the crowd
Mm,
feed the alligators?
yeah.
I'm morbidly curious if he let people,
Oh shit.
yeah, if he handed them human meat. Like, one second. Like, I don't know why I'm so curious to know, but I want to know if, like, he handed somebody, unknowingly, of course, unknowingly handed one of uh, patrons, humans, piece of human meat to feed the alligator.
That'd be a could be a possibility.
It's a strong possibility, but it's not a possibility if he does not allow the customers to.
Yeah.
Oh, what is taking so long? You are in the Forbidden Woods, right?
Yes.
Okay. I can get in. I can get into the outfit that I want to wear. I'm a blank get after I change my outfit. Blank. Ring bell. Alright. Now we're at Gatorland. Even though the business seemed to do well, Joe felt he needed a gimmick to draw in customers and soon settled. Oh, didn't know he would come squawking over here.
Ooh.
Okay.
Who's
So,
squawking it?
the fucking the crow came over.
Oh shit.
You know those two crows that sit over by there? Where are you in
No.
the Forbidden Woods?
Oh, I think you're talking about in real life. I'm
No.
like, is there a crow outside your door?
I was about
Obviously,
to
I'm
say
tired.
you're not in the Forbidden Woods, and
I am in the Forbidden Woods.
you rung your small resident bell, right?
I'm pretty sure I did, Birmingham. Yeah, I did.
Okay, okay. Even though the business seemed to do well, Joe felt that he needed a gimmick to draw in customers, and soon settled on the idea of having live alligators on the property. He had a hole dug behind the bar, which he had, which then, which he then cemented and filled with water. He erected a 10-foot tall fence, filling the pool with 5 live alligators, 1 large and 4 small. Joe's idea panned out, and hordes of customers came to look at his new pets. Saturdays were especially busy, for Joe would put on a show by taking a live raccoon, cat, dog, or any other animal he could get his hands on and throw them into the alligator pit
Oh shit.
just so the customers can watch them attack a live animal.
Damn.
Okay, okay. Joe, terrible human, awful human being.
Mm-hmm.
The motherfuckers watching him throw a living creature into a
Yeah,
pit of
they ain't innocent.
ravageous animal. They're fucking. They're not as bad, but
Yeah.
they're fucking still disgusting.
I mean, it was old-timey Texas for you. I mean,
Like,
it's like, you know, those little things at the circuses where the chickens would dance, and how they make the chickens dance is that the floor was electrified.
yeah, yeah. Oh, godly.
Terrible.
Okay, okay. According to Elton Coot Jr., whose father, Baxter County Deputy Sheriff, helped investigate Ball and later wrote about him in a book titled The Wild and Free Dukedom of Baxter. It was common knowledge that every Saturday night a drunken orgy occurred. Any wild animal, possum, cat, dog, or any other animal without an owner helped make the show a little better. Get drunk, throw an animal in, and watch the gators, wrote Cued in his book.
That is the most Texas thing ever.
A similar account can also be found within the files of the San Antonio Public Library. The squalling kitten flopped into the pool, a big alligator lifted its jaws, closed its vise, and the screaming cat was bitten in half. There was more to come, my pets, Big Joe Ball shouted as a drink-crazed crowd roared in anticipation and next tossed a puppy into the bloody pool. Oh, fucking A. In
He just went
addition,
like blood crazy.
yeah, he was just fucking nuts.
The crowd was loving it, seems like.
Yeah, yeah. In addition to his alligators, Joe's male customers enjoyed the fact that he would only hire the youngest and prettiest girls to waitress and tend the bar. None of the girls ever seemed to stay for long, but Joe's always explained that the girls were simply drifting through town looking for a quick buck. And
Also, they probably didn't stay long after the puppy got
yeah,
thrown.
yeah, wouldn't probably stay long after that. In 1934, Joe met a woman from Sanguine named Minnie Goldhart, or Big Minnie. It's Minnie!
Big me?
Uh, you don't, have you not listened to the H.H. Holmes series of...
No.
It's me, Minnie! Oh, you need to listen to their H.H. Holmes series. You need to listen to last podcast H.H. Holmes series. Trust me,
I do.
it's good.
I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Okay. But there's a character named Minnie in there, and Henry does her voice pretty good.
Oh, yes. I can imagine.
Goddamn. Got myself giggling. Or Big Minnie as she was known. Oh, we're being invaded. Joe's friends disliked her and considered her an offensive and loathsome person, but Joe apparently didn't mind, and the two eventually began running the bar together.
Oh.
Okay, that's bad lag.
Oh, shit. Oh. So I was not ready for a fight.
No, I'm not ready for a fight either.
Get out of here. Ooh, damn, he's going crazy. Fire
He's
sword.
just using the quickening blade, the bone of quickening. No. There was no way I was gonna win that.
Yeah. We got wiped out.
It was my internet.
Ringing bell. Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. It's gonna
That's
look.
right.
It's gonna look different on because it's just gonna look normal. But on my end, before he started killing me, he literally just started jumping around. Like his character just started glitching out real bad. I couldn't keep track. So I just stood. I was just like I just let my controller down.
Mm.
All right, beckoning bell. Okay. The relationship lasted for almost 3 years until Joe fell for Dolores Buddy Goodwin, one of his younger waitresses. Dolores fell in love with Joe, even though he had... Oh my god! She fell in love with Joe even though he had once thrown a bottle at her, which left a nasty scar from her eye to her neck. Holy
Ooh.
fucking A, dude. That right there is what we call fucking Stockholm syndrome.
Yep.
Things became even more complicated in 1937 when 22-year-old Hazel Shotski Brown began working at the bar, full of self-confidence and perilously, perilously beautiful, preciously beautiful.
Mm.
They
Can't see it, so.
I Perilously.
I don't know.
Precisely beautiful, full of self-confidence and precisely beautiful Joe, forever the player, fell in love once again. This created the problem for Joe of trying to balance 3 women, all of whom worked at his bar. Oh, I know what's coming. It's not getting good. That ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
During the summer of 1937, part of Joe's problem was solved with the disappearance of Minnie. Upon inquiry by friends and relatives of Minnie's, he eagerly explained that she had left town after giving birth to a black baby. Okay. A few months later, Joe married Dolores and later revealed to her that Minnie had not run off, but rather that he had taken her to a local beach, shot her in the head, and buried her in the sand. Dolores did not seem to believe Joe's story, and the subject was never brought up again.
I'm just not gonna bring that up. I don't believe you. I'm not gonna press it.
I think he was telling the fucking truth. I wonder if Minnie was his first kill, because they haven't mentioned anything else prior to that.
Yeah.
I'm getting stuck.
Poor Minnie.
No! You don't know how many times I've seen you run off of that.
Why would I ever do something like that?
I already got the shortcut open up, so we ain't gotta...
Nice.
Ain't even gonna try to bother with the snakes. And I did not grab my blood echoes.
Was there a lot?
Nah. I didn't grab my blood echoes.
That's sad.
Is this not the way to the... Okay, yeah, it's way here. I hate how this place looks so similar to everything. Thought that was a pathway for a second. Yes, but it's not gonna come up anymore because I've isolated it.
I can hear some hex.
Yes. Come here. Ah, shit. I'm stuck.
Uh-oh.
I got free.
Okay.
Ah.
Oh shit. shit.
To let sugar down.
Ow. Ow.
Ah, fuck you. Ah, what the
Yep.
hell?
Oh shit. Okay.
Ah. Ah, okay, one's of them, got one of them down. Watch out.
Oh, I did somehow.
Ah. Snakes again.
Got him.
Nice. Alright.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call it after that one.
You mind if I finish these last two paragraphs first?
No, 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 no.
In
I ain't
January,
got any fight in me.
I got you. In January 1938, Dolores was involved in a fatal car accident which resulted in the amputation of her left arm. Nonetheless, rumors quickly began flying around that one of Joe's alligators had actually torn it off. Regardless how she lost her arm, Dolores mysteriously disappeared in April, and not long after, so did Hazel. While the women in Joe's life were anything but consistent, his alligators were always there for him. Joe was very protective of his beloved gators. It had been rumored that on one occasion, when a neighbor complained about the smell of rotting meat, Joe pulled out a gun and in a not so polite manner explained that it must have been the alligator's food that smelled, and that the noisy neighbor should mind his own business if he did not want to become that food. The neighbor then
Oh,
reportedly moved to another city. That was the dude. I know that was the dude that packed up his family and left. I thought that was the
mm,
cop at first, but he's just pulling that gun on anybody.
yep. Chill ball.
That is, we are on a gruesome discovery now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Um,
Hasn't even gotten to the part of like how he's like the great great grandson of that like crazy slave owner dude. The one
yeah.
that
It
yeah,
it only mentioned his father.
the dude like took part in blackbirding and shit and was part of the reverse underground railroad
Ah.
of like basically stealing back freed slaves and selling them to the south.
Oh yeah.
And blackbirding is when they would offer a bunch of jobs, you know, and then like get them on a ship or something, and then usually would take their free man papers, rip them up, and then you know lock
Yeah.
them on the ship and
Mm,
sell them.
that's fucked.
Yep.
All right.
But
I'm exiting.
he took part in that. And he was a huge part of the slave trade.
Holy shit. Well, that is Joe Ball.
Mm.
We will.
So sociopathy definitely runs in that family.
Oh yeah, for sure. We will definitely be covering him more in the future.
Good choice. He seems
Yeah.
folklore.
Yeah, definitely. And we're just now getting. We're just now getting to his first. Well, it's only saying it's only mentioned his first it's only mentioned three victims. So I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
that's there's only confirmed. There's only a couple confirmed, and then he has like maybe 20. He claims to have 20. You know, which yeah,
But yeah,
who
there's
knows?
another one. I'm guessing it's just Murderpedia's summary. There's another thing that I'm gonna read after I'm done with that one.
Yeah.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.